Hey chat, Xanaran here. Recently, I've noticed a lot of Geometry Dash misinformation start to pop up, so today I'm going to debunk some of them. Enjoy.
Just a few days ago, it was announced that Robert Zavala has been diagnosed with cancer.
There is no reliable evidence given, so I'm inclined to believe that this is incorrect information.
This news has left many fans and players feeling concerned and heartbroken.
No one is heartbroken because this news isn't even true. If it were true, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have covered it by now.
Everyone knows about the unreleased level Ultimate Destruction, but did you know that at one point, way before the game's release, the menu screen for the level looked entirely different? And if you look carefully, you can also see that RobTop spelled Ultimate wrong. Maybe it's time he goes back to kindergarten.
Rob's grammar has nothing to do with this video, bro.
If you played Geometry Dash 2.1, you probably remember the useless Hall of Fame tab. This was essentially a section with random community maps that you would play for basically no reward at all.
The Hall of Fame works similar to the feature tab, except with just epic levels. Also, they give stars, every level does. So, do your research next time, little bro.
Well, in version 2.2, it got removed. However, the Hall of Fame did get a replacement. However, the save was never actually added to the game, and it instead was replaced with lists, which is basically a better version of map packs. But playing them doesn't give you any bonus rewards.
The save can be found in the daily and weekly tabs, and created lists give diamonds.
Back in 2023, Geometry Dash was removed from the Google Play Store because it hadn't been updated for over 6 years, meaning it had a much higher risk of getting hacked. RobTop himself said that Google set him a deadline to update the game, which he ignored, causing the game to be removed. However, this wasn't only the case for the Play Store, but for the App Store as well. But with the majority of the player base being Android users, this definitely made them mad, and the only hope for them was to wait until Geometry Dash 2.2 releases, which did release in late 2023. But it was definitely worth the wait because now I can spam fire in the heart.
Oh, so you're one of those kind of people.
Did you know that before the game's release, Geometry Dash was going to be called something entirely different? In the process of naming the game, RobTop said that he named it just Geometry because it was built up of simple geometry shapes. However, RobTop later planned on calling it Geometry Jump, but for some reason, Apple told him he couldn't name it that, so he called it Geometry Dash instead. In my opinion, Dash sounds way better than Jump, and RobTop himself agreed.
The Q&A actually shows that RobTop was going to use Geometry Jump from the very beginning, and then later changed it to Geometry Dash. I don't see anything to do with Apple here.
We all know RobTop loves to edge us with content when it comes to previews, and this feature is no different. In the preview of version 2.0, players were presented with a new monster that was supposed to be added called the Witch Monster, but it didn't get much screen time, only showing up in one teaser screenshot. So we don't know exactly how they would have acted, but what I can say is that they look really goofy. It would have been better if RobTop just added a Cookie Monster.
What does the Cookie Monster have to do with this video?
Did you know that monsters used to be crazy with their mouths? Pause. In this teaser screenshot, you can see that the monster had a tongue. Now, not many people noticed this at first, but it was never added to the final game. Like, imagine dying because a monster licked your ball. Crazy, right?
Half of this fact feels like filler to make the video longer. Probably to make the video 8 minutes long so you can get ad money.
Geometry Dash used to have the worst parental controls in history, because if you go into the parental control option, you have the option to allow only featured maps for online levels. However, when the feature first came out, it didn't remove the search option like it was supposed to, but instead all it did was disable map packs. I can imagine this led to some interesting conversation.
Yep, this is true. Nothing to debunk here.
Before version 1.0 of Geometry Dash, portals used to look entirely different. These old designs were pretty much taken from popular Valve franchise Portal. However, these were just concept designs, and in the final game, they were added with an original design. We don't know if old portals were just meant to teleport you further into the map, but now they make you switch game modes.
Why would RobTop add teleportals to 1.0?
You've probably seen the saw decoration while playing Geometry Dash, but did you know it actually has an old unused design? The predecessor of this saw was actually hexagon shaped and had 3 size variants, big, medium, and small. It was only shown in the concept preview, and after that it was just cancelled. And RobTop later decided to get it reworked into the normal saw.
Once again, nothing to debunk here.
In the beginning of the game, the ship only used one color instead of the 2 different shade options that we now use today. You can even see it in the game's Steam banner. Thank God RobTop changed this, because imagine grinding for a cool new ship and you can only use one color.
Actually, the ability to have 2 ship colors was added before extra ships.
Additionally, it was originally intended to just be called the Rocket, but everyone called it a ship, so RobTop decided to roll with it.
Not really something being removed per se, but just something having a name change.
This secret bug literally bans you from Geometry Dash. The Demon Crash bug used to be a known bug among the community where if you had 500 stars or completed 5 demon levels, your game would just crash every time you tried to play it. Some players also began spreading rumors that your entire PC would explode. Maybe this was actually RobTop just trying to get his players to touch grass.
I'm pretty sure RobTop would not purposely add anything like that.
In Geometry Dash 2.1, there are 21 main levels to choose from, but when checking the game files, there are actually 37 different slots containing main level songs. These songs are hidden from players in the editor, but using a mod, you can actually see which songs they are. They're all from the game spin-off series Geometry Dash Sub-Zero, Meltdown, and World. And there is a theory that those separate games were supposed to be a part of the main game, but RobTop later stated that creating separate games for spin-off series did make him a fair amount of money. Seems like he made the right choice.
Once again, nothing to debunk here.
Did you know that the difficulty icons looked way different before the game's release? In the pre-release era of Geometry Dash, there used to be only 5 difficulties: easy, normal, hard, harder, and insane. These 5 difficulties were the only ones to have their old, more chill design, but after release, they were scrapped and replaced by today's famous emoji design. To be honest, I'm glad the old designs got removed because I can literally draw them in Microsoft Paint in like 5 minutes.
I don't believe that's important to the video.
Everyone knows about Scratch, the merchant in Geometry Dash's icon shop. He makes a lot of different faces, but if we dig into the game files, there's a hidden sprite of Scratch where he's angry. We don't know the purpose of this or why it was created in the first place, but later, RobTop decided to just rework it on the community shop merchant Popor, which gets angry when you ask him for a refund policy. I sure don't trust those robots with that look in their eyes. Geometry Dash was supposed to have a BPM button. The function of this button has been speculated to just show the BPM rate of the level song that you're playing. Some people thought it was going to be a feature for changing songs BPM as you're playing, but that's highly unlikely. This button has been apparently found in gameplay footage of Geometry Dash's pre-release version.
Wow, 2 good facts in a row. I'm proud of you, Manguo.
Eternity! No, I don't mean like an infinite amount of time, but a level that was supposed to be added in version 1.8. Eternity was a song that everyone in the community was betting on being added and huge hype was spread. However, when the song preview for 1.8 came out, players were presented with icons of book, infinity, and the number 2, which meant that we were getting Theory of Everything 2 instead.
Just because RobTop decided to use a different song doesn't mean that it was removed. Also, Theory of Everything 2 came out in 1.9, not 1.8.
But that wasn't the only song that was supposed to get added. RobTop scammed players with this song as well. In the song preview of the 2.0 update, we were shown 5 icons: a B+D, plane, a locked skull, the logo of the producer Waterflame, and a question mark. What did these even mean? While the last 2 could mean that Waterflame was working on a Geometry Dash exclusive song, or that we're getting a song Conclusion. In the end, Deadlocked was made an official level, while Conclusion wasn't even considered, so we basically got scammed.
Ditto.
The slow speed portal used to have this ugly design back when it was first announced in the preview for update 1.7. It was literally just a speed portal but reversed and orange. But luckily, by the time the second preview of the update was out, RobTop fixed it into a thick backwards arrow that we all know and use today. That old design absolutely sucked.
Once again, nothing to debunk here.
Every Play used to be known as the Reddit for Unity games, and it was essentially a portal where players could upload their raw footage from any popular Unity game, including Geometry Dash. However, Unity shut down this feature in 2018, which left players kinda disappointed, because at the time, most players had older phones, which are known for having issues with screen recording. Rest in peace, Every Play.
Wow, 2 correct facts in a row again. Keep this up and I won't have to release another debunk video.
But did you know that RobTop removed tons of icons throughout the game's history? That's right, there used to be even more. This included a ball with a mouth, some old designs that were changed upon being added to the game, and this Among Us icon, just to name a few. Due to controversy surrounding its creator, however, the Among Us icon was cut from update 2.2, so you'll never get the chance to be sus.
The Among Us swing has left the chat.
Most things are very noticeable when removed. However, this isn't always the case, because when the follow player button was removed from the level editor settings menu, almost nobody noticed. It literally only got 10 upvotes on Reddit. Unfortunately, the reason for this removal was never clarified, but many players think it was most likely due to camera trigger working as a complete replacement for it.
Once again, nothing to debunk here.
But one thing that was very obvious when removed was the background trigger object. This trigger was a super easy way to change the color of the background, and there were also ground triggers to complement it. But in update 2.0, these objects were permanently removed, and instead being replaced with the color trigger. Now, this had a lot of creators, including me, very confused when the update came out, until people managed to figure out that to change the background color, you can just click into the color trigger. Also, fun fact, you can still get the background trigger object by copying older levels with it and adding it as a custom preset object.
The new color trigger, it's a lot easier to edit what color channel you want to change.
However, I guarantee nobody knows about this next feature that was removed, because
I bet I do know it.
did you know that back in the day, you could verify levels by beating them in practice mode?
Yeah, I knew this. You could do this in 1.2 and before.
That's right, you didn't have to beat it in normal mode to verify and upload your level. The reason this feature was removed was because practice mode has a lot of bugs which could make it possible to verify a level that was impossible to complete in normal mode.
It was also removed so some crazy hard levels that weren't verified legitimately wouldn't end up on the servers.
And there you have it, 25 things removed from Geometry Dash. Make sure to subscribe and check out this video on the screen. Bye!
I'm stealing your outro. It's mine now.